We have Joshua Mulsbury joining us, Executive Director of Developing World Connections. Thanks for being here, Joshua.
Thanks, it's great to be here.
Yeah, so we're talking about quite an interesting project you guys have called Light Up Guatemala.
Yeah.
Maybe you can explain a little bit about what that means.
Yeah, well, for those of the viewers that don't know about DWC, Developing World Connections is a Kamloops-born international charity, born and bred right here in Kamloops, and now work across the world in Africa, Asia, Latin America. About 2 years ago now, a longtime supporter of DWC, Rick Kurzak from Kamloops Home Hardware, and I were in Guatemala working in some of the poorest communities in the country. And as we're stopping for breaks, visiting people, visiting families, we'd be in these houses and just the intense smoke from these cooking stoves. Like in Guatemala, majority of families will cook over an open fire right in their house, right? And it's predominantly women and their young kids.
Which isn't good for your health,
no,
I assume.
it's absolutely horrific for your health. But when you're living in abject poverty, that's just the reality.
Yes.
And so we were there, and we just were really kind of burdened with this desire to try to do something to address it. And we found a local manufacturer, something called an eco stove, and it's essentially a locally produced stove that uses about 70% less firewood than a traditional open fire.
Wow.
And it will obviously vent the smoke outside of the house. So not only does it address a lot of the harmful health impacts that constantly befell these women and children, but it also helps reduce the rates of deforestation in the country. So all in all, it's just a simple and easy solution for this problem.
So this video is really showing what you guys have done there, or what these people are what conditions they're living in?
Yeah, first it addresses the problem and then really goes on to highlight how these eco stoves can help address it.
Right. So how many stoves has DWC provided?
Well, we kicked it off with our with funding from our golf tournament, our charity golf tournament last year, and we've been able to put in a couple hundred stoves. This September 8th, we're going to have another golf tournament, and proceeds from that tournament are going to go help get more stoves in people's houses in Guatemala.
Is there a specific part of Guatemala that you're focusing on, or are there a few villages within? Yeah,
well, our goal is to put 5,000 stoves in 1,000 stoves in 5 different regions of the country. And we're focusing first right now where we spent a lot of our time working just outside of the city of Antigua. So it's about an hour and a bit from the country's capital of Guatemala City.
Quite a poor area.
Yeah,
Antigua
well,
is.
Antigua's nice, but in the developing world, you often see poverty right next to wealth. And Antigua's a beautiful colonial city.
Antigua is the nice city, and then the outlying areas, there's a lot of poverty.
Exactly, some of the poorest communities in the country, in the world for that matter.
Have you been back since?
We've been back. We've been back, been able to see and talk to some of these families that have received the stove, and just heard the stories of how they used to have to take their kids to get treated for lung issues on a monthly basis, and now those problems are practically gone. Families who have spent so much of their household income trying to buy wood, but now because of the fuel savings of these stoves, they have so much more money to put together towards sending their kids to school, that type of stuff. So, how
much does a stove actually cost? Like, what do you need to raise to really get to your goal?
Well, for us in Canada, it's insignificant. It's $250 for one stove.
Wow.
But for an impoverished family in Guatemala, that is just an astronomical sum that they cannot hit. So, we're trying to raise over $1 million over the 5-year target for this program to get 5,000 of these stoves. One costs $250, and it impacts the lives of a family of 8, especially women and children. So
the golf tournament coming up is the way that the public can help, I guess, by donating to you? Okay.
Well, anybody could go on our website, developingworldconnections.org, at any point and just click through the prompts to buy a stove. You can, for $250 donation, you can put a stove in someone's house.
Wow.
Alternatively, if you love to golf, this Thursday, September 8th, we're having our 9th annual golf tournament. $175 gets you in, and then our banquet following the tournament, and lots of great prizes as usual.
Wonderful.
So we'd love to see you guys there supporting this program.
Perfect. Thanks, Joshua.
Yeah,
Thanks
thanks
for
a lot.
being here. What a great project you guys have going on there, and I hope you reach that goal.
We will.
Yeah, you will.
Yeah.
Staying positive, exactly. Joshua Balsbury from Developing World Connections, thanks for being here. And there you go. The website on the bottom of the screen there is how you can donate and help these families in need. Stay with us. We'll be right back after a break, and we're talking about Rib Fest, which is coming up on the 5th of August.